Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Tipsy Iron Novice. I, of course, am your host, BJ, and I am excited to get started with episode 3. What ingredient we will be using today is actually something I've seen used quite a bit on some of the cooking shows that I like, right? The Chops, the Iron Chefs, and whatnot. It is a Tomatillo. I've actually never worked with one of these before. I've seen them in the grocery store all the time, and I was like a little too nervous to pick them up and try them. So we're gonna be working with them today. One of the main things that I've seen people normally make with them are like salsas. So I will be doing a tomatillo, like verde salsa, so like a green salsa with this. So we have all of our ingredients, right? The tomatillos, jalapenos, lime, cilantro, my little seasonings and flavors and whatnot, and of course my pulser thing to blend stuff up. And we're gonna get started. So I'm really pumped. I have like a ton of chips back there, so I'm gonna be eating those with this for the couple of weeks that we'll have it. We're not gonna have this for weeks, for like a couple of days, because it probably doesn't last that long. And of course, my favorite part of this show, it is the tipsy component. My wife randomly went to Target and bought something for me, and she was like, "Here, take this." I'm like, "Bet." My price range is like $20 and lower because it's expensive and I don't want to spend a lot of money on stuff. So I have Wild Turkey. So we will be drinking Wild Turkey. It is a Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey, and seen it before, never had it, so this is going to be my first time. So we will get started with shot number 1. Nice boy, nice boy. Compay. Smooth. Actually a lot smoother than I thought it would be. It's been in the freezer for a little while, but that's great. Oops. Also forgot to pull one for the road. Pull one for the homies. Do the homie. So we have that ready to go, and we will get started with this. So very easy dish to prepare, which I'm excited about. Less editing for me because the other videos have been wild. But super easy to do. So first we will just start with these tomatillos. So they actually have like a little leaf. It feels like a leaf casing on the outside of them, which is kind of interesting. So you just pull the tomatillos out of here. Have the tomatillo here. It's like that little green leaf casing there. We will go ahead and pull this one out of this little leafy shell as well. Feels like Christmas. What's up? So it's funny, once you pull them out of that casing, the leaf casing, they're like kind of sticky, right? They're a little bit sticky there, which is interesting, right? So little facts about the tomatillo. So these are actually nightshades, similar to nightshade ingredients. I don't know any off the top of my head, but I will put some here below. This one is molded, and I'm a little grossed out, so we're not gonna use that. I mean, I hear that the texture and the flavor profile for those who haven't had one of these is going to be similar to, it's going to be a mix between a cucumber, an apple, and a tomato, right? I don't know how that's possible, but we definitely will figure that out. So we have our tomatillos here. I am going to go wash these, and I will be right back. All right, so I have these tomatillos all washed. So we will get ready to start cutting them. So I will be, when I'm cooking them, I will be roasting them in the broiler. So I'm just gonna be cutting this piece off here. I'm gonna be roasting them in the broiler for about 7 minutes or so. Broiler on high for 7 minutes. Once I'm done with that, I will pull them back and start assembling the salsa, okay? So what I will be doing is just cutting them in half, right? Cutting them in half, and I'll also be cutting the top off here. And definitely grab the wrong one. Whenever you mess up, take a shot. Mess up, take a shot. So I'm really excited about the salsa, actually. Like, one of my favorite foods is chips and salsa. Is that a food? It is today. Chips and salsa, I love it. I can literally eat that any snack, any time of the day. So being able to make something that I really love and not have to pay like $5 for it and control the flavor and the salt and also how spicy it is. I hate when something says like, oh, hot, and it is not hot at all. Like, I'm a big spicy person. I love spicy food. Got that. So we have these all cut. Oh, we have one more. Can't forget about the baby. Don't forget the baby. Hey, baby. Yeah, and the texture of these is really interesting. They're lightweight, firm. You look at them and you think they're like gonna be like tomatoes, really soft and squishy and hard to kind of cut. But they're not like tomatoes at all. They're more like a soft apple. So we will grab our pan. My wife is so annoyed when she sees me do this, and I never wrap the baking sheet all the way around. I just like, you know what? Let that tin foil sit there. It's all right. So we'll do that, and we'll put some of these on here, right? So just put them side down. Make sure the butt's in the air. So we got these here. I will, now I'm just gonna cut a little bit of this and taste it. I'm really interested to see what the flavor profile is. So I'll take a little bit of it. Should I do a whole piece, big piece? Big piece. Tomatillos, let's see. First time ever trying one. Yeah. Initially, you get like the sourness of a green apple. The texture, like I mentioned, is kind of like an apple, but a lot softer. You still do get that tomato feel with some of the seeds in there. It's very reminiscent of a tomato. A little bitter, a little bit sour, but that's a great fruit. Like tomatillos this is an amazing fruit. No spice to it, a little bit bitter, a little bit sweet, but beautiful, beautiful fruit. So we got these done. We will go ahead and roast these in the broiler, high broiler, for about 6 minutes, 6 to 7 minutes. Once we do that, we'll come back and we will start creating the salsa. When I do come back as well, I will have all these other ingredients chopped and ready to go. So we will just be focusing on the preparation of tomatillos. All right, so I will go ahead and put them in there and let's do it. But before we do that, one more shot for the road after this. Wild turkey's hitting good, lightweight. Ooh, that would burn. All right, and we are back. As you can see, we have the tomatillos over here resting. So the recipe that I originally saw did call that they be in the oven for shot o'clock. So if you think I forgot, I didn't. Don't trip. Shot o'clock's not really a measurement of time, but it's a measurement of wild turkeying. So let's get it. Salud. I should see how many languages I can say cheers in. I should see how many. Okay. So the recipe called to keep them in there for 5 to 7 minutes. Mine were on like the medium rack, on high, on the medium rack. They didn't get as charred as I would have liked, but they do have a nice little blistering there. What I would also recommend is leaving the outside skin on as much as possible. But it's okay, they are, the texture is definitely a lot squishier. This is my squishy, and I will call you squishy. So they're nice texture, very easily to be blended, which is great. Also here, I already have the cilantro and the jalapeno. So I put about a half a bunch of the cilantro in there. A jalapeno and a half, one large jalapeno and a half of a large jalapeno. So those are both in here. I should do better at measuring and having exact amounts, but a lot of the time I'm just freehanding it, right? I'm normally an under seasoner, so I never have that issue of like, yo, it's too salty, I messed it up. It's always like, you need to add more to it. So I just go by ear. If I ever want to recreate it or make a cookbook, I might make a cookbook, who knows. Drop in the comment section if you want to see me make a cookbook. Tipsy Iron Novice cookbook. Okay? So we have the tomatillos here. We will go ahead and throw these excruciating hot things in this mixture here. We have the tomatillos there. So far it's the jalapeno, cilantro, tomatillos. I will be adding a mixture of these items here and to get started with the blending. Okay? So we will do olive juice. This is olive oil. We will do olive oil. Okay, I'm not measuring anything, but we'll make it work. Olive oil, a nice little pour there. Limes, but two things you kind of cannot and kind of can't. Garlic and lime juice. You can't have too many of them. I'm tripping. I am super tripping. Do not drink olive oil, because that's not good. Garlic and lime, right? Not too bad. Okay, you can't have too much lime. I'm tripping. You can't have too much garlic. I've never had something with garlic in it and been like, yo, this is too garlicky, take it back. I love garlic, by the way. Okay, so we'll put the lime juice in here. How much? Who knows? This is one large, medium lime. Hopefully there's no seeds in here. And for a good salsa, you know that lime is vital. That brightness, that acidity in there is actually a really important thing to have. So I will just start with just the one whole lime. I'll include the rest of the ingredients, and if I need more, I will add a bit more. Next, we have salt. Definitely gonna need a good amount of salt. We got that pink Himalayan, baby. This is that Trader Joe's pink Himalayan. Costs too much money, but I love it. Pink Himalayan salt, and that just being able to crush it. Am I crushing it? I'm not crushing it, I'm grinding it. Good amount of salt. Again, if we need more, we will always add more. And of course, pepper. This is a brand new pepper I just bought. Again, I'm a big fan of pepper. So we will go ahead and put some pepper flakes. Little bit of pepper. Pepper ain't hurting nobody. Right, last but not least, garlic. Normally, sometimes we do have fresh garlic. Fresh garlic is always nice. If I would have had the fresh garlic, I would have put it on the tray and roasted it with the tomatillos. This minced garlic junk is amazing. One, because chopping garlic is a pain in the butt, but you buy it minced already, it's really nice. Not as good as fresh, of course, but it's so convenient, and I just throw this in everything. Eggs, salsas, whatnot. So I'm gonna put a lot of garlic in here and be smelling like a garlic house in a minute, okay? So 3 scoops of, right? So we have a mixer here. This mixture was given to us by I do not know who. Literally, it just came in our mail, and I think it was a wedding present from somebody, but they didn't put their name on it, so we just have a mixture that we use. You can either use like a mixture like this. You can also use a shot glass, because why not? Okay. You use a blender if you need it, right? Blender. One of these, whatever works, just to make sure to get things mixed. We will get this mixed, and I have my favorite brand of chips over there that I'm pumped about. I'm hoping I didn't put too much liquid in it. It feels super liquidy, a little bit more than I think I would have liked. I think with olive oil, I probably went ham with olive oil, no lie. What do y'all think? And I probably could mix it a little bit more, but I do want to stop here, just taste it, get a flavor profile, and see what I got, what I'm working with. Okay, put a little bit closer there. Okay. Yeah, it's super, I guess that's okay, as long as you're not looking for like a chunky salsa. Growing up, I hated chunky salsa, like a pico. That's too much, but this feels, yeah, it feels okay. It's not a pico, it's not as crunchy or texturized or, what's the word? Chunky. It's not as chunky, It's not as chunky as a pico. Really smooth, a bit more liquidy than what I would like, but let's see what we can do. Maybe even thicken it up with more jalapeno. And let's taste it. Ooh. Okay. Very nice kick to it. That jalapeno and a half. If you are heat tolerant, if you don't like the heat too much, don't do a jalapeno and a half, like big jalapeno and a half. Maybe one would be good, but it's nice. I could even put the rest of that in there, be sweating while I'm eating and enjoying it, but it's nice. It needs more salt, it needs more garlic, so I'm gonna do both of those now. You know what I'm missing? Onion. I completely forgot to pull the onion out of my refrigerator, and that would add to the texture of it as well as the flavor of it. So I will, and I knew immediately, I'm like, what was it? It's the onion. I'm gonna go grab that onion, chop it up, and throw it in here as well. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. All right, so we have my onion. Chop this onion. I'm gonna put a good amount of this onion in here. I'm actually a really big fan of onion. How much y'all think I should put? Should have read the recipe. So these in, throw them in, man. There's a can. It's a can. It's a can. Put that in there, and I think this is gonna make a world of difference. A world of difference. And again, this is the, all right, mix. I got bars. Don't trip. making salsa for my chips. Already the texture looks a bit more texture. It looks like there is more texture in there. I think I added way too much olive oil. If I could dilute it a little bit more, I would add more veggies, but I don't have any more. Do I have anything? Maybe more onion just to make it more firm, a little bit more firm. Also, the tomatillos make it still warm since it was in the oven and I just immediately threw them in. It's still very, very warm. And maybe once it's chilled, it will be a little bit better flavor texture. Okay. Okay. Pico chunky. Okay. What's up? I need to. This wild turkey is destroying my flavor buds. What is in here? What is this? Crafted with conviction. Okay. It feels. I need to sit down. Okay. All right. Maybe there's a spicy and a turkey. Spicy turkey. Don't make a spicy turkey, y'all. Okay. All right. Let's try again. Need more flavor. So I can taste the cilantro. The cilantro is nice. The onion definitely has a great texture. Jalapeno is there, so you feel that bitiness of spice. Maybe more salt. Let me get some chips. We need to do the chip test. Because you can just eat salsa straight and be like, yo, I'm eating salsa straight, and I just realized I'm eating it straight. And who eats salsa straight? Some people do, but you need to have it on a chip to understand its great texture aromatarity. So literally the greatest brand of chips that I found to make nachos, salsa, whatever. These Santitas. These, they come in yellow or white corn, and these are amazing. And they got the price on there. So if anybody tries to charge more than this, you can get them. Once upon a time it was $2. They changed it to $2.29. COVID got everybody raising their prices, right? So let's try this. Again, it's not chilled. That's the last thing that I would need it to be kind of cold, but I think it'll still be good. So let's see. I made a ton. There's a ton in here. Yo, that tomatillo is fire. I never realized this, but probably in a lot of green sauces they have a tomatillo. There's this bitter sweetness that is just popping through. So it is marinated in everything, and it's like one of the forefront flavors. I was gonna add more salt / garlic, but you don't want to lose that beautiful tomatillo flavor because that's nice. It's a nice, refreshing fruit. This is a success. Very few ingredients, yielded a ton. I might bottle this and sell this at Trader Joe's or Market Fresh or that place where they be serving stuff. So if you're looking to make a fresh salsa, something you know that is fresh, and you can adjust the flavors accordingly, use some tomatillos for that verde. I don't know how to say green in Japanese, but I'm gonna learn. But this is great. Like, I'm very impressed. This is something I would make regularly and save like a good chunk of money. So when I have like a party or whatever, this is awesome. Boom. I'm very happy. With that being said, thank you all so much for joining me for episode 3. It was a bit of a struggle to film this. A lot of things have been happening this week, but this brought some normalcy, and it made me feel right doing this. So thank you for joining me. We'll be doing it again next week. See if I get one of my boys to come in and film something with me. We'll see. Until then, make this salsa verde. I don't know how to say green in Japanese. I don't know. But and enjoy your week. Salud, kampai, cheers to you all, and thank you for watching. Subscribe, join, like everything.